Hey everybody, Dr. Samir Joshi here, of course, and joining me today is another very special guest, a guy who's really close to my heart, and for various reasons, and I'll talk about them in just a minute. One of them is actually really recent, so you have all the reasons to be super curious about who this guy is and what this reason is. We'll talk about that just in just a minute. Please join me in welcoming the one and only Declan McNamara. Hi, Declan.
The one and only. What an introduction. Thank you so much. You make me feel so very special. Thanks, Samir.
You absolutely are special. Yes, wonderful, Declan. Great for you. Great to have you join. Thanks for taking the
Great to be
time.
here. No, thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
Oh, absolutely. I believe that this wouldn't have been complete with this conversation, like I was, just telling you earlier, and now that I'm saying it again, I really meant it when I did say it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, Declan, obviously, I know your story. I know you. I know your story. But I would love for you to share your story, in the online marketing world, how your journey has been, all the way from how you got started to the levels of success that you have right now. So why don't you talk to us about that just a little bit? Our audience today would love to hear that.
Sure, no problem. My IM journey started. My last job I had. I live over here in Ireland, in Dublin, in Ireland, and I was running a bar over here in Ireland. And during that time, and I loved it because I have a lot of interconnections with people in the bar. It's one-on-one conversations, and the stories I could tell about that bar is just unbelievable. But at the time when I was running the bar, my two daughters were born. Rachel and Emma were born when I was in running the bar. And when you run a bar or a business like that, with unsociable hours, it's very demanding. It's 24/7. You're constantly, like, I was getting home some mornings at 3 a.m. in the morning, and then up the next morning, and I just could not spend the time I wanted to with my new children, my first two kids. And I came to the decision when my lease was due to be renewed. I told the landlord, I said, no, I won't be doing it. And he goes, what? You're doing so well. And I said, I can't. I am missing out on the precious moments that my newborn children are spending time with them, and I cannot do that. So he was disappointed. And at that time, I had no clue what I was going to do. So I left there. I came home. Well, I was lucky enough at the time, my wife had a very good job. And I planned to take a bit of a break for 6 months to spend time with my new babies, my kids, and look after them and bring them to creche and feed them and spend time with them. And that's what happened. So 6 months passed, 7 months passed, everything was brilliant. I really got grown close to my two girls. But I was getting a little bit sort of bored of being a sort of stay-at-home dad, if you know what I mean.
Right.
There was my friends, my mates were calling me Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't know if you've ever seen the film. I was going around the house or something like that. Yeah, so that's the label I got at home. So with that, a guy who I know from who used to come down into the bar and drink, who I'd known for quite a while, he sent me a message one day and he said, listen, I think internet marketing is something that you might be interested in. Here's a course that I have signed up to. It was a 6-week course. Check it out. It was only $97. Check it out, see what you think, and we go from there. So I remember I said, oh, yeah, right, okay, I'll have a look at it. I didn't know hardly anything, Samir, about internet marketing, about the internet full stop. The only thing I knew was checking out a few websites here and there, which I very rarely would do. All my stuff, all the sort of information I needed, I get through a newspaper, those old-fashioned things, the newspapers and the television. So I got into this, and I'll never forget the first week that we jumped on the call. It was 12 o'clock midnight over here in Europe or in Ireland, and it was 7 p.m. Eastern, and I had to be up the next morning at 7 a.m. with the kids. So I was looking at it and I was going, okay. And at the same time, I was talking in the Facebook chat with my friend who signed up for the course as well. So this started introductions and all that type of stuff, and I heard people talking about SEO, web pages, swipes. Well, I had not got a clue what they were talking about. So I was sending my friend messages in another message bar. I said, I'm lost here already. And this was only after 10 minutes. I said, I haven't got a clue what they're talking about here. He said, no, stick with it. So come the end of the hour, it was an hour webinar, an hour's conversation of the product that I bought into. I was taking notes. I was bamboozled by all this information, and I just really hadn't had a clue. So I got talking to him the next day, my friend, and I said to him, Peter, I haven't a clue what this is about. He said, listen, stick with it for the 6 weeks, see what you get out of it and go from there. And in fairness, after the second week, the third week, I sort of got into it a little bit more, knew what they were talking about. And since then, it's been boom. I got addicted to internet marketing. I got addicted to buying stuff for, 6 months a year, which I've got out of now. It's only when I focused on myself, being a vendor, me getting coaching, that I really started seeing things improving. Instead of buying stuff, I was putting stuff out to the market, and people were seeing what I was about. And people in the other group that I got signed up to for a coach, I got to know them, went to marketing events, met the likes of Todd Gross, what's his name, Walt Bayless, Sam Becker, and I was in awe of all these people at these events. I was hiding in the corner and going, oh, these are famous people. It's like meeting Ronaldo. It's like meeting President Bush or something like that, because I was going in and seeing these guys. But it's only when I started making connections with these guys and letting them know who I was, what I was about, that I really started to see an upward trend in my business. So I went from there to being a JV manager, so getting involved on product launches and bringing affiliates in on the launch. And with that, I did my first six-figure launch. We did over $120,000 and have done probably about 25 launches since then. And then that's progressed into organising my own marketing events, and then doing brokering for JVs on other projects. And yeah, in a nutshell, that's me. And all in a short space of about 3.5 years.
Wow, what an amazing story! Yeah, I mean, you've gone through so much and so many different things as well. But I think the key is that you always focused on, got back to yourself and transition from just being a collector to a creator is, I think, what you're saying. Amazing. Now, obviously, you have an entrepreneurial mindset, else you wouldn't be successful. And many people watching this are budding entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs already. So talk to us a bit about this entrepreneurial mindset, especially in the light of the struggles that you've faced and how you have overcome them to not just survive, but also then thrive and generate the levels of success that you do today.
Anyone who tells you that they have not struggled will tell you a lie. You learn, and what I have done is, and other people I have spoken to have been in the same mindset, you learn from the mistakes you make. Nobody in this game has not made mistakes, but the sign of an entrepreneur, and a strong entrepreneur with a great mindset, is that they learn their lessons from the mistakes they've made. They put them down as learning processes and not mistakes. So again, as I touched on earlier on, what I did is I got then to the stage where I was buying and the next best thing, and it's only when I got myself a mentor or a coach and got into that coaching group that I focused my mind. And I knew what sort of path I was going down. I was going to release products. I was going to join up with joint ventures with guys, launch products, and not be a consumer anymore, but was going to be a producer. And it's only when that happened that I saw the curve going up rather than going down, or working up debt on my credit card or whatever like that. But it is so important. Your mindset is so important, because nowadays, and I don't like to see it myself, you have a lot of people who just go from A to B to C to D. It just push button success does not happen. It does not happen. Like, contrary to what people will read about on sales pages and this and that, you have to work at this game to be successful, and you can verify that yourself. If you do not put in the time, the hours, and the dedication to your business, you will not get anything out of it. Yeah. And there's no such thing as push button success. There is not. And let me tell you that, and it's very, very important. If you don't get anything else out of this interview, if your viewers don't get anything else out of it, that is one thing that should stay in their mind. There's no such thing as overnight success, and a push button system does not exist. So you got to put in work. You got to go sort of meet with people who are successful, make connections with people who are successful, learn from them and learn from their successes, and build your business that way.
Amazing! Wow, awesome. Now let's do a bit of time travel here, you and I together, and let's take you to where you started off. Love the smile that just broke on your face.
I never forget my past and where I started off. It's very important.
Now, so obviously when you started out, you had no money, no list, no website, even no clue. And let's say if that were the case, because many people listening to this would probably be in that situation, how do you start making money online now?
The advice I would give people, if I mentioned earlier on again that I got into, after signing up for that course initially, I got into the mindset of buy. All the promises: make $2,000 a week on YouTube, make $6,000 with email marketing, make $20,000 a month with e-com. I was buying, and it's only when I focused and got myself a coach who has been around the business for, he was 8 years at that stage, that I sort of focused and got down. And the year that I spent buying absolute crap, that I didn't even put them into practice what I was buying. It was just, I got to the stage where I was buying. So when I turned around and agreed with myself, I need someone to fast track me into where to go, what to do, and how to do it. Because of the experience that guy had in internet marketing, he was able, I wasted, I'd say, nearly $3,000 in a year buying absolute crap, probably more, to be honest with you. But if I'd have fast-tracked all from buying all that stuff and just got straight in and got myself a coach, got myself a mentor, it wouldn't have been a year wasted in my life. I mean, you see all the famous people, all the successful people in internet marketing and in life in general. Like, look at Tiger Woods, look at the great footballers, look at the great athletes. They all have mentors and coaches because we need them. You cannot, this day and age, you cannot really survive on your own without a coach to keep you focused, to keep your mindset properly, to stop you from wandering to different places and to different ideas. You got to focus on your business. And if I had done that, and that's the one piece of advice that I'd give anyone watching who's only starting off, dabble around for a couple of weeks, but to fast track your success and the advice you get from, don't just go for anyone. Do a bit of research, talk to people who you know who are working online and who you see are successful. Talk to people about these people, how good they are, whatever. I have no problem myself. If anyone wants to hit me up, I can recommend not just my original coach, but I've had other mentors since. I have no problem recommending, because I know there are bad apples in the game. I know there's bad apples in every aspect of business. But if anyone wants to hit me up, no problem. But that's the one bit of advice if I was telling people who are starting off: get yourself a coach, get yourself a mentor, and go from there. It really is. It fast tracks. It saves you wasting time on anything else.
Excellent, fantastic, great advice. Get yourself a mentor and get going. Now let's get down, to the meat of this, and to actually what the key question is as well, based upon what you just said. What would be the actual steps that you would take from zero to the first $10,000 online?
Well, what I did myself personally is after I got focused and got myself coached, I started launching information products. And the first one was a disaster, but I took that step. I did it. I put behind. If you've seen some of my JV videos or my sales videos, I look, I cringe to this day. I still have people who ridicule me and say, do you remember that video and all that? But listen, I took action. I went and I made a step, and I've learned from it. So what I would do as well is, if people, I know information products are still, but they're not quite as sort of popular as they were when I was sort of starting out nearly 3.5 years ago, whatever. It's gone to the stage where the market is software, and it's very hard for a new guy to turn around and launch a software, because then you have to get a developer in, you have to get designers in, or whatever. So what I would do is I join groups, right, of people and see what they're doing, because there's like, if you have a skill set, like my skill set is bringing people together. I'm a communicator. People told me that initially at the start, after about 6 months when we started going to these marketing events. I bring people together. I'm Irish. I love to talk, and it comes natural to me, So my sort of, again, my role in a product launch was JV recruitment. So I went out and talked to people and brought them together. I had no clue about technical stuff. Still to this day, I'm very limited about setting up a sales page, setting up a squeeze page. I just talk to people. That's my job. But I would advise people to join some of these Facebook groups and give whatever you have. If you're good at graphics, if you're good at setting up an ebook cover, just give first of all to people who are in the groups. Say you have a little bit of a service, and don't look for anything in return, because I've noticed as well in the time I'm in this business, if you give, people are appreciative, and it will come back to you 3 or 4 fold. So go into these groups, give and interact with the conversations that are in this group. Even hit up people, a little thing that you see are successful on Warrior Plus, on JVZoo. Hit them up, send them a little message, a private message. Don't spam them. Just do not say, listen, I have this product coming up, would you be interested in promoting it? The amount of messages to this day that I still get from people who I don't even know. And I go, and I say to them, dude, you're doing it totally the wrong way. Get to know people, research who they are. I spent, I'd say, nearly a year at this stage, originally, Samir, just going onto people's Facebook profiles, seeing who they were, where they lived, if they had children, what their hobbies were, and then I'd send them a message, and then you have a connection, and then they'll see that you're not just in looking for them to promote something. You've broke the ice, you have an interest, and it's very, very funny. And you mentioned this guy's name to me previously. One of my first launches, and my initial, what really brought me from there to there on a launch, like we nearly did 3,000 units on it, was with a guy called McNamara. And he was huge in the industry, and he still is at that stage. But I just got to the stage where I looked up what he was about, what he was doing, saw he was on the top of every single leaderboard on Warrior Plus, saw that his launches were doing thousands and thousands of dollars. And I did a research on his profile, and I found out that he lived in Hyderabad in India, right? Now, and then boom, absolutely fantastic. My head chef that I worked in the bar previously, where was he from? Hyderabad. Boom, connection straight away. I sent Fankata a message, and I said, "Hi Fankata, pleased to meet you. My name's Declan. I'm just new in this industry. I'm after coming out and running a bar over here in Ireland, and my head chef, funny enough, was from Hyderabad." Do you think he answered that message when he saw Hyderabad? Boom, we've been partners since. We've had 5 launches together since, and that was the thing that I did. I went out and I saw a connection, and I knew he would respond to that connection, and we are absolutely best of partners since that day. But again, you got to go out and do it. That didn't happen overnight. I mean, as I said, I researched him, I researched Sam Becker, I looked at all the guys who were successful in internet marketing, what they were doing. I found something that I had in common with them, and that was an icebreaker. And then next time I hit up Fankata, he remembered, oh yeah, there's Declan. He has a friend from Hyderabad. Boom, and he talked to me. So little things like that, make connections, but don't, please, if you're starting off, don't spam these people, because they will just go, bam, no interest. Find a connection, find something, ask like how their kids are, if they're after having a new child or something like that. Find out if they're interested in a sport. And come here, listen, this is an absolute golden nugget that I'm telling you here, because the more connections you make in this industry, the more successful you will get.
It's amazing, fantastic, which gives me the perfect lead in to what I'm going to ask you next, and that's about making these connections not just online, but especially in an offline or a face-to-face interactive environment, just the way humans are designed to interact with each other in a pub, or even a marketing event, which is, for example, your marketing event where we got to know each other at the time. So talk to me, because I know the answer to this question, but I want to share this with our viewers here as to why it is so important, even if you're just about starting out, to go to marketing events. And these can be actually any events, but especially the awesome ones such as the Marketing Alliance, and that's the one that you organize, and it's such a wonderful event. So talk to us a bit about the importance of participating in events, even if you're just a newbie.
Yeah, I noticed. I mentioned it previously that when I got a mentor, we got into a Facebook group, and there was other marketers in there as well. So what we did, one weekend, we saw that there was a marketing event coming up in the UK, and a few of the guys were from the UK, but a few of the guys flew in from South Africa, from America, and we spent time together because we'd known each other through the group and all that. We interacted with each other. But we went to this first marketing event, and I just, as I said, Sam Becker was there, Walt Bayliss was there. There was guys there that you would only sort of look on as gods. And by me attending that first marketing event, it was probably one of the best things I've done for my business in the last 3.5 years, because by going, like I just mentioned a minute, but by making connections with these people on Facebook and sending them messages and breaking the ice, that's one thing to get the bond with them. But if you want to bring that bond to the next level, you got to go to these events and meet people, because there is nothing that beats a personal introduction, a personal meeting, a face-to-face hug, a kiss for one of the ladies who were there, whatever like that. It just brings that relationship to a totally different level. And that's why when I, as I said, went to that event, I've been at about 10 marketing events now at this stage, including my own. But it just, and from my own experience for the 3 marketing events that I've done so far, what I try to do is keep the interaction together, get people together, talking to each other, communicating, building their businesses, seeing what they can offer each other. But at the end of the day, building friendships. And once you build a friendship, you know that next time you hit somebody up, or you have something that you need, or you need advice on, boom, 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 you send a message. And we know, like we just have to come back from my last marketing event, we know now that we are on a different level than we were previously, because we've met.
Absolutely.
I mean, marketing event. I'm not just saying that because what I'm doing now is organize a marketing event. I'm just saying if you get a chance to go to any marketing events, especially the Marketing Alliance event that we organize, get to them because it will bring your business to a totally different level. It really, really will. Because I remember my first marketing events in Portugal, not the one gone, but the one previous. There was two guys had never met each other before. One of them was a developer. Another one was a marketer who was only really starting out and was waiting for his big breakthrough. They got talking to each other, as well as the whole weekend talking to the people who were there, who were established marketers, as well as their presenters. And they did a product launch, right? A software launch, about 2 months after my Portugal event. Okay, they did $90,000 in sales, right? And that wouldn't have happened if they hadn't met at the marketing event. That wouldn't have happened either if they hadn't made connections with the people who were at the marketing event. The leaderboard that they had for that product was full of all of people that they had met at the Marketing Alliance event. So it is just, and I'm so passionate about this because I love to see success stories from coming out of my marketing events. But it does bring your business to a totally different. And don't be afraid if you're only starting off. I mentioned earlier on, I saw these guys, as I said, Todd Gross, Sam Becker. Well, I saw these guys and I went, oh, I was hiding in the corner. I was hiding in the corner for an hour until they came over to me. And they're so free with giving their time. I mean, you saw recently Matt Basak, Chris Winters, Brett Rutecki. They are so free in giving their time to help people who are starting off. One of my main calls that I'd say to people who are thinking about coming or who are attending events, with the presenters, what we say to them, leave your egos at the door. We don't want people with egos. We're one little happy family, and we stay together. And I think you'll see from the testimonials, and you'll see from the experience you had, that's what it is. And it's such a happy environment to be in. And I think we had about 5 new people at the event there recently, and they're glowing, absolutely glowing with, and bursting with ideas they cannot wait to get home to implement because of what they learned at these marketing events. But don't be afraid to go. Take that step. It's an investment in you. It's an investment in your business. And I can guarantee you it will take your business to another level if you go to these marketing events.
Fantastic. Wow. And, I spoke to many of the people, who are just about starting out, who were at your event as well. And I can absolutely confirm exactly what you said. The experience is transformational, and not just for them personally to start off with because they're starting off, but it's also going to be transformational for their business. But not just for newbies. I mean, just like you said, the other 2 guys you talked about, that's taken their respective businesses also to the next level. Amazing.
And as well as a business perspective, it's fun as well. It's a fun atmosphere, and everybody's friendly, everybody's smiling, and we go out of our way to make sure we pick the right places, the right locations, the right resorts, the right hotels, and we do research on all of that, and it just all comes together as. I'm still on a high from. I mean, you can probably see it from the bags under my eyes, from the event there a couple of days ago. But I'm still on a high about how brilliant it was.
I absolutely share the high with you. Now, I know, Declan, you and I, we can go on for the whole night.
We did 6 hours.
Yeah, we can go on and finish up in a big group early in the morning. You and I can keep going on talking. But all awesome things, have to come to an end, just like this conversation as well. But before I do let you go, any closing pieces of advice here for our audience?
Closing pieces of advice. I would just sort of go back on what I've said previously. First of all, I'll recap. If you're starting off, get yourself a coach and a mentor, and you will cut out a year of trying everything yourself, because this guy, and they're not expensive, Samir, anymore. I mean, as I said, I am freely available on Facebook. I'm on it all the time. If someone wants to hit me up and ask me advice of who they should go to or who I went with, I've no problem with that. But that will fast track you compared to doing it all on your own, because we all make mistakes when we start off. And what these coaches will tell you, they'll let you learn from the mistakes they have made, so you don't have to make them yourself. So that would be number one. Number two would be go to a marketing event. If it's ours, fair enough, fantastic. I know you're going to have a great time. If it's somebody else's that's closer to where you are, grand, no problem. But go do it. Go talk to people, break the ice, learn from them, and I can guarantee you it will grow your business without a shadow of a doubt by going to these marketing events. And thirdly, just be yourself. And keep your drive, keep your focus. And if you want to, don't give up. Please don't give up. You want to succeed online, don't give up, because it's not a bed of roses, as I mentioned earlier on. There's no such thing as pressing a button and you're super rich with online marketing. It doesn't happen. You got to put the work in. Don't be afraid to put the work in. Focus. Know at the end of the day, it's your business that you're focusing on to build. And I can guarantee you, if you take the steps with a mentor, with marketing events, you will see success much, much quicker than any other way that I can think of possible.
Fantastic. Wow. Declan, amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time. It's been an absolute pleasure. to talk to you. I look for any excuse to do so, and
No problem.
so definitely not an excuse, but a great opportunity to touch base with you again. Thanks so much for taking the time.
No problem. As I said, thank you so much for inviting me on. Anyone who's watching this, as I said, if you want to hit me up on Facebook. Declan Mac is what I go by on Facebook, and I'm only too willing to try and help people, because I don't forget where I came from. I know I was starting off first and had not got a clue online, and some of the people I've met that have helped me, I'd be only too willing to help other people in the same situation.
It's amazing. Super. So with that said, together with Declan McNamara, or actually he goes by Declan Mac, this is Dr. Samir Joshi signing off. I'll see you guys very soon.
Thanks, guys.